Hey everyone, I am Rishav and in today's video I would be showing you about the birthday wishing app part 2. Now if you have not checked the previous video of this app part 1, go check it out that video first, it will be given in the top. So see that video first or else you won't understand this one. And this is the video of part 2. So we would be learning about intents, our second activity, how to create second screen, how to add the functionality of button click, how to go to next page. Then we would be learning about how to add images from Figma to our activities, how to import them and all these things. So this video is going to be really super awesome. So just subscribe my channel, share it to your friends and hit the like button and press the bell notification to get the latest from my side. So let's begin without wasting any time. This one is a birthday image, right? So what you have to do is you have to come to this Figma, then to download this one, what you have to do is you have to select this image. So double click on the image. Okay, so just see one thing, the app has run. Okay, so you can see it right in my mobile, it's running and you can enter the text here. Okay, now but we are not working with this text and we don't have this button functional, right? So for that thing we will be working. First let us do one thing, that import this image into our download folders. There are two images. First part is this one, the sprinklers, and the second is a background image of happy birthday, right? So to download any image or anything, what you have to do is click on that one and it will be shown here. Now go to the export. Here is the export option, you can see. So you have to go to the export, click on the plus icon and it will come like this. Okay, now here the thing that is coming is like what is the format you are wanting to download, like PNG, JPG, SVG or whatever. Okay, so PNG is the preferable one. You can also download JPG and here is the preview button. Okay, so you can click on this preview to see the image, like how it will be downloading actually. Okay, so it will be downloaded with the border itself and nothing to do with that thing. So export the rectangle, or you can also do one thing, export as SVG. But see, this image part, don't export it as SVG. Like if there is some icons or text, you can import it in SVG. And SVG, PNG, JPG, this format are different. Like in PNG we can make the background transparent, like in this sprinklers the background is transparent actually. Okay, so you can see that this is coming at the top of this one, background is transparent. Like in SVG what happens is there is no pixel rate. SVG is a web format in which there is no pixel rate, so in any resolution it will be working fine, like it won't be hazy. Like in some bigger screens it some images like which is small, it becomes hazy. So in SVG format it don't become hazy, and in PNG is also good because of but JPG is not so much preferable, so we will be exporting it as PNG only itself. So click on this image first, then come here, export it as PNG format, select PNG and you have to do export rectangle. Click on this one. So now what will happen is it will open a tab, or if your downloader is already stored, so rename it. I am renaming it birthday background.png and I am clicking on save and it will save it. Okay, so this one, let's close this one. Yeah, it has downloaded it one. I have downloaded the background, and for the foreground this is a sprinkler, you can see. So I will click on this export again, and we will be also learning one thing, like how to import one image at the front view of another image. Like this is at the top layer and the background is at the below layer. Okay, so we will be also seeing that one. Yeah, so this is done. So from Figma it is done, and these are the text and button. Yeah, so Figma I will be opening in the later part. So now let us work on the main activity first. That is our, like I have to take the input and I have to display it, so it will be easier. Like I am displaying it so you can see like what you have inputted. First thing I am doing is, whenever you click on the next button, whatever you type, it will be appearing in this text field, enter name. Okay, so like you can know like how to change the things. Yeah, so what I was telling is we have done like to define anything. What I have done is, like we write here text view, right, text view, and then we assign a value to it. But a simpler way is there. instead of doing that thing, what we can do is we can use view binding, and it's pretty much simple and easier part. Like whenever you call that one, we don't have to create a first define it, like then we don't have to do view binding, find view by id, then every time we don't have to use that one. Simply we can do one thing, and that is pretty much easier by using view binding. So let me show you like how to use view binding, and in this video you will be also learning that what is view binding. Okay, so let's see like what is view binding. Yeah, so to add the view binding, what you have to do is first go to in the project section. Okay, so this is the project section, and then go to the Gradle script, right? And in the Gradle script, what you can see is there is to build.gradle, right? And I have already explained. So you have to go to the this one, this build.gradle second part, and after this one, after coming into the build.gradle, what you have to do is come here in the Android section, and to enable the view binding, so you have to write 2 lines of code. So you have to write build features, write build, and view binding. I'm pasting it directly. Yeah, so you have to add this code, and also you can change this one too. So yeah, this is the code for adding view binding. So you can see that view binding is coming here. Okay, so first save it by Control S, and then click here Scenic now. Okay, so now it will build your Gradle again, and it will be importing the things. Okay, so this one is done. Yeah, so you can see that build has done. Okay, so now close this build.gradle and all other things that are open, and simply come to this main activity. Okay, and now I am closing this project section because we don't need it. Yeah, so here to implement the view binding, what you have to do is at the top, first let me show you like how we did it previously. For this next button, we have to define button as we have written in button. Then next I am defining the name, giving the name next. Okay, and then I have to write next equals to find view by id, find view by id. Then I have to write the r.id dot next. I have given the name as next. So I have to like define this next by writing 2 lines of code. First is this button next I have to write, then I have to write this next equals to find view by id. So there are 2 lines extra code is coming for each and every time, and it is taking up the memory, right? So to make this easier, what the developers have done is they have implemented the view binding, and this view binding is such a really crazy thing. So what to tell you? Let's first do this one. Let's first import this one. It is showing to import. Yeah, we have imported, and I don't think I have given the next. First, let me check it. Like what is the ID? Okay, so I haven't given any ID yet. So come in the XML file and give the ID of the button. ID I will give it next, and another one. This is this one, edit text. This one also I will be giving the ID. That is name input. So it will be easier, right? And this one I am defining to show you the changes actually, but we don't need this ID, so I am showing it to make you understand. And ID I am giving a text. Okay, so now it is we have defined all this one, right? So come to the main activity, and next is now no error is there actually. Next, the error has gone, right? So we have to write 2 lines of code for importing anything and defining it in the in our Java file, right? And if you want to press the next dot set on click listener, new on click listener. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to change this one, enter name, right? So I have to again define a text view here first, text view, then I have to give it text, right? And then let us come into this on the click on button click. What I want is text dot set text. So what I am wanting is, like, whenever I will press this button, this enter name will be changing to hello world. See, one thing, I have not assigned this one, so I will write text equals to find view by id r dot id dot text. I have given it text, and yeah, and let us run this one and let's see, like, is it working or not. So I will click on the run option. So now you can see that to do anything or to import anything from this XML to this one, we have to do two things, right? One is we have to define that what is the widget we are using. Then we have to assign a variable. Then that variable we have to do like find view by id, and then we can work with that variable, right? So there are two lines of code which is coming extra, but we don't want to make our app size bigger or like that. So I will be implementing view binding, and I also recommend you, like, whenever you create an app, make it with view binding only. So first let's run this one, and then I will show you that how to write view binding in the main activity of our Java class, right? So you can be seeing the difference, like what's the difference. So first let it run. It is showing that it's running. Just wait. So the Gradle build has been finished and it's installing. So just see, like, yeah, it means there is no error. So it has been installing. Just wait for a few minutes. Let it come. Yeah, it has come, right? So whenever I will be clicking, the thing I have done in this code is, whenever I will be clicking, it will set the text to hello world. Let's click it, right? And we go. Yeah, so it has changed into hello world, right? So to change this one like this, we are writing like this. The two lines are extra, as I have told you. Now let's implement the view binding, and I will be showing you that how much easy view binding is. So I will be writing view binding, so you can understand it. For view binding, I am writing this code. So first of all, like, we are using main activity. The name is main activity, right, of our class. So we have to write that one only, main. Just wait, error, it is hanging a bit. So now let's do it fast. Yeah. So this one, first we have to write a main activity. Sorry, not main activity. Activity main binding. Activity main binding. So once you write this one, you can see that it is coming activity main binding. Click on this one, activity main binding, and then I have to define the binding here. So I will write binding, and yeah. So first I have imported this one, activity main binding, and I have given the name binding, right? So now I have to do this one. So here it is set content view r.layout.activity main, right? So we have to create this one. And now we have to write here binding equals to activity main binding dot inflate get layout inflator. Then give a semicolon, and then what I have to do is, instead of this r dot layout dot this one, we will be writing simply this binding dot get root. Okay, so yeah, this is our code for our view binding, right? And this is the binding that we have defined here, and we are using this one. So now, like, if we want to import this next or text, what we have to do is, we will be simply writing here binding dot next Okay, and for this text also, binding dot text. This is the this is the next is the id. This id will be here. What is the id we have given? Binding dot next and binding dot text, right? And let me comment this to code so it will be easier to understand, like this one is actually working. Binding dot next and binding dot text. So we don't have to write this line of code, find view by id, and also we can remove this too. Okay, so this is the simple, this view binding makes our code. So let's run and let's check it, like is it working or not. So what I have done is I have commented this to code, and using view binding we can simply write here binding dot next and binding dot text. Like we simply assign the value to which we want to work with the widgets. We simply write binding dot the id of that one. Okay, and we can use the binding feature of this one. So let us run this one and let's run. So it's Gradle is building. Let's wait. So the Gradle build is finished. It's installing. So there are no errors, and let's click on this next button because we have made this next button functional, and it should change this one to hello world. So let's click it and let's go. So yeah, it is working, right? So this is the main function of view binding, right? And it's pretty much simple. We are reducing this code with 2 lines. Okay, and in this one you can't understand too much because we are using only 2 or 3 widgets here. But whenever you will be creating a larger app or larger thing, it will be much difficult. Like the size of the app increases, the user don't want to download that apps, right? Like you also won't download the size if the size is more. So instead of that, you are reducing the line of our code, we can make it simple and easy, right? So now what is our next task is I want to take the input and I want to display it in this instead of hello world, right? So let's see like how to take the input from user, right? So whenever someone clicks on this next, so what I want is I want to take the text. So I will be defining a text. First let's define a string value, because what the user inputs, I will be converting the whole thing into the string, and I am naming it input. Okay, and in the input, like when the user clicks on this button, I want the input equals to, again I will be using binding dot name input dot get text. To get the text what user have inputted, I have to call the function input dot get text. Okay, get text dot, and then I have to convert it into string. Like whatever the user inputs, I have to convert it into string. So to string, and yeah, that's all. So this is the code to get the input from the user. Now get text function takes the input from the user, and to string converts the whole thing of the what the user inputs into the string, and I am storing it in the input, that is a string variable, right? And now I want to display I want to set the text of this one, of this hello world, or you can say enter your name, that one to show you specially. This is not for the purpose of our app. I am doing this one to show you and make it clear like how we work actually. And now I will be setting it to input. Now let's save it with Ctrl S and let's run and check whether what we are inputting here is coming or not in this instead of hello world, right? So the Gradle is building. Let us wait. So yeah, the Gradle build is finished. It is launching, right? So let us put this thing. I am giving it something like text. Okay, so I am giving it text. So I have inputted text here, right? And now let's hit enter and let's see that the enter name should be changed into text. Let's go. Yeah, so it is converted into text, right? So this thing is working, and now you are clear that how to take the input from the user, right? And that's great. So now let's move on to our next part, that is creating the next activity, means the next screen of our app. And whenever we click on this button next, I want to send this text to our next screen, right? So let's move on to that one. So to create a new screen, what we have to do is go to your project, close this Gradle script first. Now see, now you have to go to Java. Inside that Java, go to the first folder, that is main activity, right? And to create any other screens, what you have to do is click on this one. This package is coming, com.birthdayWishing. Right click on that one and click on new. After that one, let it come, birthday wishing, and then click on the new, and then this thing will come, right? So what we want to create is we want to create an activity, right? And each and every screens we called it as an activity. Okay, so now come into this activity, and then we have to scroll here. You can see that all the activities are listed, like what the activity we want. And as I have always told you, like we always use simple means empty activity. So click on this empty activity. Now a pop-up will appear in front of you, like it will be wanting all the details. Okay, so now see, you can see that activity name, it is giving activity 2. So I will change it to wishing screen, and name these things like sensible, like when you work on a big projects. So what the screen you are like actually building, name like that only, because the name should be meaningful actually, like what the work is does, give it the same as the name, right? And like it is asking that will it be the launcher activity, means whenever the app runs, should I want to show this one? No, I don't want to show this at the launching time. And the source language, keep it Java. Package name also keep it this one, and simply click on finish. So it will be creating a new screen for us. Okay, so you can see that another thing has came, that is wishing screen. And in the resource, if you go to the layout, you can see that activity wishing screen has also came, right? Like the activity main, and like this only we create new screens. Okay, and Gradle is building, so just wait for a few minutes till it finish up, and once it done, we are done with our new screen. Now see, this is coming add files to Git. So yeah, click on this one, add. If you are using GitHub, so this will come, so simply click add. Now Gradle is building, you can see, so just wait for a few minutes. So the Gradle build is finished. Now it's indexing, so just wait for, and it will be done. Now a red colored error is coming, don't worry about that. Oh, one more thing, like whenever you get red underlines like this, so it means an error, like we are having an error in that line. Okay, but this one is not an error actually, it is correct. So just let it import and index it, and then only it will be okay. So let's see, yeah, it's done. And now it is done. Come into this activity XML, and now you can see that it is coming, right? So this is our empty activity, we don't have anything actually in it. And come into this one, the error is still coming, right? And this error is because we are importing here one thing, that is app commit Android X app commit activity, and I want to change it to view binding, because in the main activity we are using view binding, right? So I will change this to view binding. So for view binding, as I have told you, like what to do is, first of all, I will write it to, I am commenting like to make it easy and make it understandable. And now activity, to write the view binding, I will write activity wishing, because its name is wishing. Wishing binding, it has came, and I will be naming it the same, binding. Okay, and now you can see that this one has gone. The error was coming in this line, but it has gone now, so there is no problem actually. So now our next work is like I will be defining this binding layout inflator. I am doing as I have done this for the main activity, I am doing this for this one also, and I won't be writing any code here. I will be moving into the activity XML file. Okay, I am doing this like it is easy, like whenever we are doing the binding part, let's do it for all. Okay, and now I will be writing here binding dot root. Okay, so now our this line of code, sorry not root, get root, get root, and here it is like this. Okay, so now our code is perfect, there is no error. Yeah, error is coming, the root will be capital R. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So no error is now here, so this is working fine, means this is the code is actually working. Okay, and now let me show you that, as I have told you in the previous videos, like in the manifest file we store all the activities, like all the screens are there. So here you can see that two activity has came, activity wishing screen and activity main. And now this intent filter is for the launching activity, means I want to make this one the launching screen. Okay, so for that we are having this screen. So let us close this one. I have told this one, and now let me do one thing, that is, first of all I will be changing this background color of this screen to our colors, from our colors, right? So I will write it background color background. Okay, so now the background will come here. So we are done with the background. So let's see in our design what we are having actually. So just wait. First of all, let's do one thing now. Let us make that one first. Like when we click on this next button, we should come into the screen, so it will be visible to you actually. Like without visibility we can't work with it. Okay, so it will be visible like if we click on the button. So let's go into the main activity and let's write the code here. Okay, so I will be commenting these two code lines, and what I want is I want to take us to the next activity. Okay, so to do that, whenever we like want to go into another activity or another screen, we have to simply write one thing, that is intent. Okay, so intent is used for moving out to next screens. So first of all I will define intent. So we have to import this one. Okay, so hover on this one and click on import class. Okay, so it will import the intent. So it is a class actually, like we are importing that one. Now I will give a equal to sign, and like I will write new, and then we have to pass two things here. Okay, so in intent, whenever we create an intent, first let us give the semicolon here. But like whenever we call the intent, it takes two values from us, means two parameters, that is in which activity we are, like we are in the main activity, and to which activity we want to go. Okay, so two things are required. So first thing I will write main activity dot this, and I will give a comma, and then wishing screen dot class. So this one is a class actually. Okay, so you can see that this is the package context coming. So this wishing this one wishing screen dot java is a class, so I am doing this one wishing screen dot class, and this one. And now I want to start this intent. Okay, so I will write start activity, simple activity, that is intent. Here you can see that it is taking intent, and I will write intent. Okay, that intent I have defined here, this intent. Okay, so it is doing this one. So let's run and let's check this one, like whether it is taking us to the next screen or not, right? So whenever we will be clicking on this next, the blank screen will come in front of us, that is our second screen actually. Okay, so let me save this one and let us run this one. So it's installing. Gradle build has been finished, and it's installing it. Just wait. Yeah, and it has launched successfully the thing. Okay, so we are handling with the next button, right? So let's click on this one and let's see that whether it's working or not. So let's go, click on this next button, and it's opening our new activity, you can see. And whenever we press our back, it's coming back, right? So that's the power of our intent. Okay, so and we use this one to move into next activity or next screen. Click on it, it is going, press back, it's coming back. Okay, so that is the next button. So let's jump. Okay, so first do one thing. I want this input. Okay, remove this text view, I don't want this one, and I want to pass this input to the next screen now. So to pass it through our next screen, we have to use this intent only. So I will write intent. So yeah, input dot put extra. You can see that the thing is coming string name and the value. Okay, so put extra Now the first parameter that it takes is like the unique code. Okay, means in the next activity, like we can pass 3 or 4 things through this put extra, so it has to understand like what the thing we are passing. So the name is being the unique id, so I will be giving it the name. I will be giving it as a name. Okay, and then the comma, and then input. Okay, the thing we want to pass, the value. Okay, input, and then semicolon. Yeah, that's it. So through this thing only we pass this input to our next screen, and in the next screen we will be taking the value as name. We can identify it. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Like in this activity we are done, like we are passing the input from this one. And one more thing that we first like we want to I want to define this input. Like if the user has not given anything, like I want to assign it to a value by default. Okay, like so that it doesn't shows any error, so I will be writing here input, not here, just simply I will be doing it like this. Okay, so now whether the user inputs or not inputs anything, it will go to the next page, and nothing will be, no error will be shown, like if the user has not given any input. And this one is done, so I will be going to the next screen, and first I will be moving on to the designing part. Okay, so in the designing part, like if you go to Figma, so yeah, if you come into the Figma file, so what you will be seeing is in our second screen, it's pretty much simple. There is nothing much complicated. So we are having our image and a button and a text view, right? So let's build this one. So I have already downloaded these 2 images, and I will be keeping this one wrap content actually, because the image is on its size actually. I won't be changing this one, I will be keeping it simply wrap content. So let's see, like first import, we have to import these images. So go to the place where you have downloaded the images. I am opening my file manager. Let's go there. First let's import the images in our Android Studio. Go to the file manager, and after opening the file manager, now go to the means I have downloaded in the downloads folder, so I am going in the inside the downloads folder. Now there are the 2 images, birthday background and sprinkler. So I will be copying these 2 images first, and left click it and do copy it. Copy it and then come into your Android Studio. And I have already told you, like we are using this one previously also, like importing the images in the profile app, right? So in the Android Studio, go in the project section, click on the projects, and then let me close the other things. Yeah, then in the drawable, we are having now only a single drawable, right? No, we are also having the button and border. So right click on this drawable of the drawable, right click on it and select paste, or you can simply do Control V to paste it. I am doing it manually. Click on the paste. Now it is coming drawable. I will be keeping it in the drawable V24 because we are using PNG images. Click on OK, and now the name is this one is coming directory. Click on OK. So now the 2 images will be copied. Now you can see birthday background and sprinkler. Now see, one thing is coming, that is the birthday background, the error is coming. So the error is due to the caps. We should not use capital letters in drawable, right? So for that the error is coming. Let me refactor it and let me change the name. Click on this one, right click on it, and then and then you have to select, wait, then you have to select this one, refactor, okay, and then rename, and I want to change it to small caps, this B. Okay, so the name is perfect now, refactor, and now it will be looking for users, and now you will be seeing that the error has gone actually. Now the red is coming due to GitHub, okay, so no issue in that. So now let's move into our code part. So we are using constraint layout. So first thing, we will be having an image view actually, okay, and in the image view we will be selecting that background image. So I will write image view, it's coming. Select the second one, image view. Now its width and height, as I have told you that I will be keeping it wrap content, because the image that I have downloaded from Figma is its original image size, and it will be set like that only, so there will be no issue with that one. So let's keep that one wrap content, okay. So if you come in this Figma file, and let's click on the image, and I want to see the margin of the image from the top, okay. So to do that thing, click on the image, right. So come in the Android Studio, and let's give a margin top, layout margin top 46. I am giving an even number, 46 dp. Okay, so now it will come down a little bit. (49 dp), 46 dp. This will come down, and now let's say in the Figma file, like the other part, like what is there. So you can see that there is a text view, there is a sprinkler image also I have to add, and there is a button, share button, right. So first I will do the sprinkler, and then the text view, and then share button. So let's come in the Android Studio. First let me do one thing, I will give an ID to this image view, that is ID, because I will be using this constraint to I will be using this ID of the image view to constrain the other things like the sprinkler and the text, okay. So for that thing we are using ID actually. So I will write here, what is happening. So I will be giving the ID as the ID will be given as let me give it birthday image, birthday background, okay. So the ID is birthday background. What happened? Yeah, birthday background. So now what we have to do is, in the image view I have set the width and height to wrap content actually, okay. So now let's give the constraint of this one. So so let's first give the like the image, so the src. So I will write src, Android src equals to, now give the drawable at the rate drawable, and it is a sprinkler image actually, okay. So we will be using the sprinkler. So let it come again, it's hanging, man. We will be giving it drawable sprinkler, okay. So the sprinkler image will come here. So you can see the sprinkler has came. Okay, and now let us give the constraint of this one. So I will give a constraint start to start. So the start to start off, and it will be the ID. Now this time ID birthday background image. Okay, because I want this thing sprinkler to fix inside this birthday image. So for that birthday background. Okay, so and the ending constraint end to end of same thing ID birthday background, and that is constraint top to top of, and this one will be also the same, that is birthday background, right? So the thing is constrained now, and it's looking pretty much good. If you don't want, you can also remove this thing, there is no issue. Now I am giving the closing tag, and this one is done. Okay, now let's move on to the text view. Okay, and then last we will be doing the button. So for the text view, let us do this one, text view. Okay, first thing I will be using a card view to show the text. Okay, so first of all, because there is a rounding at the background. Okay, or we can do one thing also. Let's say instead of card view, like what we can use. So let us see. Okay, so I will be writing text view, and layout width I will be giving it match parent, and then height wrap content actually. Okay, and now the text by default I am giving it to C. Okay, now let us give the constraints, like where we want this thing actually. So let us now give the constraint of this thing. Constraint, first of all I want the constraint to be bottom, constraint bottom to bottom of. I will be giving it the ID, and the same thing birthday background, so it will come at the bottom of birthday background, and the other two constraint start to start of birthday background, and the last one also constraint end to end of birthday background. Okay, so done, the constraints are done. Now I will be closing this one. Okay, so now I will be giving it the width, because constraint layout I will be giving this one 0 dp. Okay, not match parent, simply give it 0 dp, so it will occupy the whole space of this image. Now the few things are there. First of all, background, what I will be giving is you can see this one, the button we are having here, its background also we have made in the drawable, so I will be simply giving that background only itself. Okay, so let us say in the drawable button background, so you can see that it has came yellow actually. And now the next thing that we are going to do is what's the next thing? So next thing is gravity. The text I want it to be center, so I will write it gravity, or you can simply do one thing, alignment, text alignment center. Okay, so text alignment center, so it will come at the center. Now the text color is, let's go to the Figma and check it once, like what's the text color and the other things like the text size and all those things. And once we are done, then the text after the text I will be moving on to the button. And after the button, what to do in the next part, I will be showing you in the next video, like the shading option, how to share the image in social media or in other profiles. I will be showing you it in the next part. Okay, so this part is becoming quite long. So yeah, I am in the Figma file, so you can see The color is this one, and its font is Poppins Bold, and the font size 32. So come back to this one. Now I will be giving it font size, not font size, text size. Text size, it will be 32 SP, and then font family is Poppins Bold. Font family Poppins Bold, as so its font is bold now. And the last thing is the color. So I will be setting the color to text. Okay, so color, that is the text color, I will be setting it to text primary. Okay, so the color is also fine, the other things are done, and the next part we have to move on to so now for the you can see that this one is having a margin bottom of 78 dp. I am into this one. Go to the inspect, you can see that margin bottom is 78 dp. So I will come in the Android Studio. Now I will give a margin bottom 78 dp. Margin bottom, that is 78 dp. And you can see that I have constrained it from both the sides. So instead of layout with 0 dp, I will give it match parent, because I don't want to show unnecessary text like long text, or the background. I don't want the background to be long. I only want the space it occupies actually. So for that thing we will be giving it layout with as wrap content, so it will occupy only the space it requires. Okay, so I will give it wrap content, like the height actually, wrap content. Okay, so the text view is done. Now let me give a margin, not margin, because it's like clumsy. So let us give a padding inside this text view, so it will be bigger, the background will be a little bit bigger. So let's give a padding padding let us give a padding of 16 dp. 16 is quite large, I think 5 dp, not 5, let's give it 4 is perfect, I think. Padding, the top, it is quite big, so let's give padding start 12 dp, padding end 12 dp. Now it should look.
The mic's off. The mic's back on.
Now it should look quite good. The padding start and padding end is given. So yeah, we are done with this one, the padding, and now we are left only with the one part, that is our, what's that? Yeah, that's our button, right? But I am removing this padding because this one is not looking good. Yeah, now it's looking good. The padding start and padding end is required, 12 dp and 12 dp. Okay, and rest it's quite looking good actually. So we are done with this. Now the final part is the button, and once we are done with the button, I will be ending this session today, and we will be continuing in the next video. Okay, so I will be giving this one wrap content, not wrap content, the width I will be giving it match parent. So the button, you can see that it's having a margin bottom of 41 actually. Okay, and starting is 26, it's 27, but I will be giving even 26. Okay, so let's move into the Android Studio and match parent, layout height 50 dp. So the height is also 50 dp I have given. Now it is having a margin start margin start. First give the constraint of this one. Constraint, then constraint start to start of parent, and last constraint end to end parent. Okay, so yeah, so I have given the text size, that is 20 sp of the button. The text color I have given the text primary, and the font family I have given Poppins bold, and the text I have given sheer, and background is drawable background. Margin bottom I have given 47 dp, margin start 26 and margin end 26. So our button is now done. We are done with our layout and it is looking exactly the same that we have in our Figma, right? So let us wrap up here, and I hope that all the things you have understood. So a quick recap, what we have done is we have made our first screen functions like the button, how to go to the second screen. We have made the design of our, so our app is running correctly and all the things are working. So in the next video I would be showing you about how to work upon the share button functionality, how to implement it, and how to do the different parts of the app. So if you have liked today's video, share it to your friends, subscribe the channel and hit the like button. I would be seeing you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, have a great day.